The following recording was made on 12 November 2019 between Mark Gruber and Franciscan Padre Philippe Schillings of Rome's Cathedral, the Archbasilica St. John Lateran. What was primarily discussed were events of 10 November at the Archbasilica that were perceived to be miraculous by Mark Gruber, who is myself. And on the 12th, the remarkable events were being reported to the Padre. In the background, there is music which is from a celebration honoring Saint Agnes of Prague. Prior to the recording, Padre Schillings gave permission for such. Okay, I was outside in the plaza, and I saw a man and a woman from the military, both having machine guns. And when I was there again today, a different set were there, so this is standard by where the needle is.
I see, yes.
And I went up to the woman, and I said to her, she shouldn't be in this job. I said, modern science has proven that men's minds lock into focus. And women don't. They think of everything at once. So I said, when someone has a gun, or a machine gun in particular, they have to focus on one thing. They can't take their eye off of it. So it's not fair to put a woman into this job because she is naturally thinking of so much. But a man whose focus is locked into place...
We have so many women military in Italy. It's very common in Italy.
I know it is. This is
the cavalry. It is from the cavalry. It's very high level military, very good formation.
Yes, this is why it's
expensive.
Yeah, this is why it's even more of a miracle, as you will see, because it comes into here. And what I said to her, the natural way that a man and a woman are meant to exist is that the man is meant to fight danger because his eyes lock onto something, while the woman is meant to be behind, who pays attention to everything. And because women are so verbal, she guides the man with her mouth. And he has ears, so he can see in the back of her head when they two work together symbiotically, that this is the natural way things are. And modern science has just proven this recently within the past few years, how men's minds are locked into place, and we lose energy if we change focus while women do not. And she agreed with me. And the man agreed with me also when I said to him that his job is harder because by nature he's still trying to protect the woman. So he has two jobs. So I said it's not, and they both agreed with me. Okay?
Nice.
And then I said,
they're nice people, really.
Yes. And I said,
all come to speak with me, the soldiers and people coming, and carabinieri. Yes, I understand.
And then what happened was, I said to her, look at this car. It was there, not a car, a little Jeep. And I said, read the license plate. And the license plate ended CU 360. And I said, what is 360? The degrees in a circle. And I said to the woman, CU 360. She sees 360 while a man focuses. And she agreed this was a miracle. Okay?
Feast of the 30 years, yes, of the canonization of Saint Agnes of Prague.
Saint Agnes of Prague.
Yes. It was a sign of the revolution in Prague.
Yesterday.
Against the Soviets. And it began in Rome because she was canonized on Sunday by the Pope John Paul II in the Vatican. And they're feasting today, 30 years, and more than 2,000 Czechs are here meeting, organize concerts and masses, and we thank the Lord. Because it seems to be that Saint Agnes of Prague Won against the Soviet, Soviet Empire.
Lamb of God,
Yes, interesting.
Saint Agnes. This is
For this meeting, yes, it's a concept.
You've just given me a deeper understanding of something that just happened. So, I should say to you, to be entirely honest, I had noticed their little vehicle beforehand.
Yeah.
So in terms of my seeing the CU 360, I don't know what influence that had on me to say what I said to her. So do you see what I'm saying? But I said to her after, yes, yeah. So I said, and she agreed it was a miracle. I left and I walk across the street and I'm stunned because in the clouds in the heavens, there's a giant cross, which were made by two planes, the trails of two planes. But it was exactly, it was as a cross. And the thing was, I was able to move so to position the top of the cross that's on the needle to the base of the heavenly cross. Okay? And it was just so strange that I was able to do such a thing. And then I looked where I was like, because I had to be in the right position to do it, and just to see, I was like, I must be here for some purpose. And the direct line that I had made was to what seemed to me to be the back door of this church.
Maybe, yes.
Which now I know is not necessarily the back door, but is where the doorman is for the apostolic palace. You know where I'm talking about. Okay. But that was closed because it was Sunday. It just seemed to me a back door. So then I came into church, and I'm staring past the altar on the right to the beautiful painting of the Ascension. And I get into a conversation with a woman there and a man, and it turns out they're becoming engaged. They're to be married. And the woman is juggling a lot. She's doing a lot of things at once. And I say to the man, women, they think of so much at once. They juggle a lot. A man, to love the woman, has to pay attention and step in as a gentleman. Because a woman wants to give so much love and care, she'll overburden herself. So a gentleman looks at this to help the woman, even if she says no. To insist, gently, of course. And then I got into the conversation about the symbiotic roles of men and women. And then he said to me, in Mexico they have a saying that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. And I said, what? What does that mean? And he said, the neck, that's what turns around to see everything. So what he said was, what I had told him about the symbiotic relationship, about the man focusing and the woman looking all around, he said this is already a common expression in Mexico, and she agreed. And I said, oh, that's very interesting, but it shouldn't be the neck. Women should not be called the neck. They should be called the eyes. Yes, and that's what they both said too. And we said, oh, this is a way to uplift all the women in Mexico. Because that's true, because we know this about the eyes. The eyes are mentioned in the story of Genesis involving Eve. So it makes sense. And the neck, calling someone stiff neck, that's a curse from the Bible. Right? So to call women, you see what I'm saying? And they agree, this will uplift all of women. And we thought this was a miracle, just like the bell, right? Hitting, right, the cross on the, and the music playing, the heavenly choir at the perfect time. So, right, so.
She was a Paul Clare.
What?
It was a Paul Clare, was the daughter of the king of Bohemia, of Czech.
What are they playing? Tell me.
No, the feast of Agnes of Prague.
Yes.
Was a religious woman. She became a Paul Clare. Was a good friend of
She became the?
A Paul Clare. A Clarice. What's a Clarice? I don't know.
Oh, a Clarist, okay.
And she was one of the best friends of Saint Clare.
Oh, poor Clare. I didn't hear what you said.
Saint Agnes of Prague. We have two Saint Agnes. One is Agnes of Assisi, sister of Saint Clare, so saint. But for Prague is Saint Agnes of Prague.
And
daughter of the king of Bohemia, in this time.
Saint
they'll
Agnes
sing
of
this.
Prague was
They'll
a
sing
princess.
It's a princess.
She was a
Used to be
princess.
crowned. Used to be
Wow.
queen. She announced to everybody to follow Saint Francis,
Wow.
like we do.
So I spoke to a priest. There was a priest from Wisconsin named Justin Kazowski, something like this, from the Holy Ghost Church in Wisconsin. And he agreed this was a miracle in terms of a revelation, because no one knows this. I'm sorry, you said maybe, from what you heard? Good.
No, it's good, I believe.
Yes, you can
I say maybe because I'm saying maybe
Yes.
because I have to.
Okay, no, that's fine. From what you've heard already, because if it's maybe, it needs to be investigated.
It's investigated.
Right.
Exactly.
But
we
yes,
careful.
of course. But
I
this
believe
is,
for you it's a miracle.
I have,
Perfect.
for me it seemed to be. He already thought it was a miracle. I'm glad you say maybe, because this is the start of my reporting to the church. So if you say maybe, then it means it needs to be taken higher. And yes, and this is Pope Francis's church. So that means it goes directly to Pope Francis right away to decide whether he sends it to the doctrine of the faith. Do you understand? This is really important, because there's so much now regarding the men and the women, and making them equal even in the priesthood, and we don't know this simple information anymore.
Yes.
And you see, and none of the women, when outside there was another woman with a gun, and I told her she can't really be loved.
Here
Yes.
in front of the gown. When you go out of the basilica, we see this.
And when I speak to these women,
Someone is okay.
when I
It's
speak
in the priest camp.
when I speak to these women, they admit it's true that they can't have real love, because the men who love them, they protect them, they wouldn't allow them to do this. And if the women are not loved in society, it's a disaster, because then they don't love the men, and the men have no love, so what's the point of life without love, and society falls apart. Do you see? So if outside the Pope's church there's women with machine guns, it means this information about how Adam and Eve and how we're all meant to be has been lost. So it has to be a true epiphany. Do you understand that? Yes, I'm glad you're nodding yes. Good. Thank you. And this is what the priest realized, it was a miracle.
Pray for me and pray for you.
Okay, so wonderful.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, okay, so now that's...
Wisconsin,
I'm not from Wisconsin. I'm originally from New York.
New York. I'm from New York.
You have family in New York?
New York, in Boston, New Hampshire, yes.
Ah, what's your family? Schillings.
It's a common name in New York. Philippe Schillings.
Okay, so
Nice to meet you.
now that you have agreed, first you agreed that it was maybe a miracle, and then when I told you how important it was regarding Pope Francis and we lost, you have nodded your head that you believe it is a miracle. So that means we have to push it up higher. So after you, who do I speak to now in this church regarding taking this to the next level? Or do I petition the Pope directly because it happened in his church?
Yeah.
Yes, petition the Pope directly.
Why not?
Yeah!
You have the audience tomorrow.
I want to get you a hug. I have.
Okay.
Please give me a blessing.
God bless you and protect you from all anxiety, to be semi-happy in your face, and to believe that the Lord is working with you to transform your heart and your soul in a good Christian.
Amen. Thank you.
Please.
God bless you, and please tell everyone what has happened in the church, okay? And I plan to... Okay. Thank you. The previous recording of 12 November is both complete and entirely unedited. After the recorder was shut off, Brother Schillings made a comment that the account was, quote, amazing.